Hello buddies and welcome to the Davis Cup 4 Subjugator against Crusade. It's what we're gonna watch in this morning. This game is related to the group H of this tournament. So Crusade is seeded 15, it plays any civilization. It's an AI made by Subjugator. And at least Subjugator plays any civilization too. So for this game I'm using the latest version of Subjugator that Cheese on Toast gave to me like uh, three days ago, if I'm right. The issue which happened against Promi should be fixed, maybe in this version. I hope so. Crusade, okay. Okay, everything looks fine. The first game is 1 versus 1.
Oui.
So good luck both of those AIs. The specificity of Crusade is the fact that it trains various units in early games. It can go for militias, spearmen, skirmishers, archers, scouts, almost everything, plus defensive towers if needed. So now when you see AI going for various units, you call the AI Crusade AI. And it's crazy how fast Subjugator go to find its opponent. Most of the AIs keeps exploring its own town at the 4th minute, and Subjugator is already exploring the enemy's side. Okay, let's see if this will work. I've sometimes seen Subjugator losing its scouts while it was trying to steal the boar, but it looks like it will work this time. Good job. At least Barbarian does it a little bit better, I would say, because you can see that the Scout has lost a lot of HP, but it works anyway, so who cares? Come on, villagers, get this deer. Okay, so let's see how this drush will work. Crusade is responding aggressively. And let's say that this drush already worked because killing one villager is enough to consider that a drush is successful. Wow. It has what, 3 HP and he killed one villager. Good job. So Crusade is in Imperial Age. 2 villagers left compared to Subjugator. And 4 units against 8. But Subjugators go for a full skirmisher. Okay, let's see. Let's say that the first battle is won by Crusade, which has now 9 units against 2. So, 1 stable, 1 turret range. As expected, Crusade will play like Crusade would do, training various units. And for having seen its opponent going for militians and spearmen, Subjugator goes now for archers. I wouldn't be surprised if Crusade go for skirmishers now, maybe. Well, it keeps going archers. And both AIs have almost the same ratio kills now. Oh, Subjugator is researching Castle Age. I didn't notice. And it's pretty important right now for Crusade to harass the enemy. It already killed many villagers. We can see that it has 14 villagers more than its opponent. It will be interesting to see how Subjugator will manage with that tower. Is it gonna waste time to attack the tower or just focus on the enemy's town? And as long as Crusade is making Subjugator busy, it has peaceful economy and should be able to castle pretty soon. Well, the big problem of Subjugator right now is the fact that its main forest is under that tower. It will be really useful to relocate the wood in a safer place. And Subjugator is practicing the hit and run. It's really nice. It's almost in this situation in which we saw yesterday, no, 2 days ago, Subjugator resigning against Promi in 2v2. I hope it won't happen this time. I just would like to see Subjugator to build a lumber camp in a safe position, but it looks to be late now. And Crusade stays with 1 TC only. And it's funny to notice that Subjugator in this new version won't resign. When it should, at least. Okay, well, GG Crusade. So Subjugator is already in a big danger. It definitely needs to win the last 2 games. It should be easy in 4 versus 4. So let's say that the 2 versus 2 will be crucial. Okay, I'm back in 1 minute. Okay, so Subjugator side we've got Aztec Pocket. It can be interesting to see if it will boom or go Eagles in Castle Age. And in the opposite side, the problem with Crusade is the fact that it doesn't have any strategy as pocket.
Oui.
That's why this game should be really easy for Subjugator. Especially if Subjugator will boom as Aztec pocket. Well, one stable for the Mongol, which went in a 10-minute feudal age time. And in the opposite, we've got the same strategy as Saracen. As Vikings, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes for pure knights. Yes, that's right. And one market and one blacksmith for yellow. So it tends to go for a boom, I guess. And the harassment is working pretty well for green. Already 6 units killed. Which look to be mostly villagers, I would say. In fact, I don't see any barrack for orange. Yes, one barrack now, so it means that it killed 6 or 8 villagers. Oh, that's interesting to see that the Aztec booming pocket is attacked by teal and purple. And it looks to be the target of grey too. I would prefer to see teal going on blue, but it's not the case. And that way the Aztec is at 26 population. It lost 27 villagers. That's so many. Well, the Viking is helping the pocket, the boomer. Okay, grey eventually goes on green. It's a good support because orange was clearly dominated. Well, fortunately, red is doing a great job to defend yellow. And I think that the Imperial Age time of Subjugator, which might be better than Crusade, should make the difference in late game. Because actually it's not clear. It looks like Crusade is still in this competition because despite the fact that teal is almost dead, orange is now able to attack green, supported by gray. Okay, so the yellow could recover and is now researching Imperial Age. So is doing red, which has so many knights full upgraded. And teal doesn't have any TC actually, but it has got few villagers. And purple is actually dying so quickly. Okay, Elite Eagle's warriors are in the road now. Well, I have never noticed that Crusade keeps going with one TC. It looks to be a constance. Okay, so as expected, Subjugator won the 4 vs 4. Crusade did play well, going in 3 vs 1 against the Aztec Boomer, but it wasn't enough. Subjugator is definitely a more completed AI. GG. Well, being Vikings as pocket always works pretty well with the eyes. It was the case with the red player, which did a great job helping yellow at time. So we've got a last game, which is a 2 versus 2, and fortunately for Cheese on Toast, the score is now 1-1. Let's say that the last game is really important, because it would be a shame to see Subjugator eliminated that early. Okay, so here we go. Spanish and Mongol. And it will be basically Spanish versus Mongol, both sides. Blue already found his 2 boars and 6 or 8 ships. It looks like it found his wall ships, and that way it already can scout in the direction of its opponent. While the red scout is exploring the wrong side. And well, blue found purple, but it looks like it didn't find its closest opponent. And at least as long as this scout is busy trying to kill to disturb villagers, it won't explore his flanks. It means that maybe Teal won't be found. Oh, the scout is dead, so in fact Teal isn't found, so it can be a problem for Subjugator, except if it can kill purple fastly in 2 versus 1. Now the question is, did purple find red? Okay, purple found red. And yeah, as expected, the new scout is exploring the target player, which is in this situation purple. And Teal is sending villagers to build a forward tower. Let's see if it's in this position. Okay, well, it could have been closer than the lumber camp, it would have been better. Okay, so we saw that in the 1 versus 1 going full skirmishers first didn't work. Let's see if this time with those scout rush made by blue and red will work better against Crusade. It has to. The game is really balanced actually. And I think that what made Subjugator lose the 1 versus 1 was the forward towers. Because Subjugator definitely should win in Castle Age. And I think it's turning good for Subjugator. Because the towers built by Crusade shouldn't hurt too much. Okay, it's now up to red to attack, to kill villagers, because blue is busy at home. Sometimes a good town-sized attack can be what we expect. Well, it looks like those towers is a problem for Subjugator. This ram should help. Okay, no more forward tower, so now let's see what Subjugator will do. It might go to harass its opponent, to target the enemy's villagers. It's definitely what Subjugator should do now. And definitely we notice that Shield and Toast should work on this situation in which forward towers just outplay Subjugator. Eventually we've got red attacking purple. 20 more villagers. I don't see Crusade able to counter this now. Well, maybe the fact that Subjugator doesn't have that many units actually. Crusade has more units. So this is the way eventually Crusade can counter this. Well, blue has been harassed during a long time, but Subjugator is definitely stronger in booming than its opponent, and once again Crusade stay with one TC only. When you see, for example, Maya, you can notice that even as flanks, Maya will go for fast for a 4 TC's boom, and it definitely makes a big difference. And well, purple lost his TC. Oh, it doesn't have the stone required. I think it's just because Crusade built towers and used 125 stone, and it didn't mean stone after this, and that would explain why Crusade doesn't build TCs. That's weird. And at least Campeador won't upload a new version of Crusade to fix this. Yes, now Maya is a reference in the AIScripters community, at least. Okay, so fortunately we've got Subjugator victorious against Crusade. Well, at least I prefer to see Subjugator qualified in this competition because Cheese on Toast is an active scripters, Campeador isn't anymore. So we probably have opportunities to see future release of Subjugator during this tournament. And anyway, Subjugator is stronger, so it would have been sad to see a stronger AIs losing in random games. Well, one TC built by Teal, because it eventually started getting some stone, but far too late. Okay, it should be time to give the admin win to Subjugator. Good job. And I keep thinking that Subjugator has one of the best Dark Age and early Feudal Age. I don't know exactly what is the gap which would permit Subjugator to be definitely a top 3, top 4 AI. And she's on those as probably the key to make Subjugator the future #1. Let's see. So I will upload the bracket. The day 2 is definitely close after those 6 games played today. Okay, so you can see that Subjugator and Crusade has the same amount of points, but Subjugator is ahead because in this situation in which we've got two AIs having the same number of points, we see the opposition between each other, and we see that Subjugator won against Crusade, so Subjugator is ahead. But anyway, we still got a third day with Promi against Crusade and Demon against Subjugator. The most important just happened under our eyes today because Crusade looked to be the worthy opponent to reach the second position of this group, while the first position looks to be promised to Promi. So yesterday I played a lot of games which were not commented to make it faster. We had really interesting games that you could watch prioritarily, like Maya against Brute Force. It was definitely not one-sided. Despite this score of 3-0 for Maya, Brute Force did pretty well in 1v1 and 4v4, so it's definitely worthy to watch. And Zikenate against the Horde was good too. We could think that the Horde would eat Zikenate really easily, but it was definitely not the case. And Zikenate could kill the Horde in 4v4 and dominated the feudal and early Castle Age. And I think that for the Death 3, the Horde against Brute Force can be really interesting to watch, definitely. There is no guarantee that the Horde will finish at the second place, and Brute Force can be maybe well. Okay, so I will upload the whole recorded games related to the day 2 of this tournament in the AIScripters forum. So that way, Scripter64 asked for me if Alice's against Eagle Revenge was streamed. It wasn't the case. I did it by recording the game, like I did for Vetrix against Mininote, Maximus against the Unknown, and Vesrona against Barbarian. Oh, and you can have a look. I was talking about the games which are definitely must watch, like Maya versus Brute Force and Zikenate against the Horde. Pharaoh against Tron was definitely good to watch, especially the last game, the 2 versus 2, in which Tron definitely looked to be winning that game, and Pharaoh did pretty well. Okay, so I see you. Bye bye, and thanks for having watched.